Today we are producing more than 3 million pages, including more than 2,000 videos and 180,000 images.
Let me ask you a question. When the name Jeffrey Epstein comes up, what do you think of? A billionaire, a private island, powerful people, and secrets that were never supposed to see daylight.
Would you raise your hand, please? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter now pending should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am. Would you please state your full name?
I'm Jeffrey Edward Epstein, and my residence address is 6100 Red Hook Boulevard in Virgin Islands.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
Yes.
Most people think this story is about America, or Europe, or rich men flying around the world in private jets. But here's the part nobody expected. Kenya appears in the Epstein files. And not just once. In early 2024, thousands of pages of court documents were unsealed in the United States. Emails, travel records, contacts, notes that had been hidden for years. These documents didn't come with explanations. No headlines. Just raw information. And buried inside that information were references that made Kenyan journalists pause. Hotels, trips, deals, and words that raised eyebrows, girls. Suddenly, a story that felt very far away felt uncomfortably close to home. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't famous because he was rich. He was famous because of who surrounded him. Presidents, royalty, billionaires, politicians. He sold access, connections, introductions. And behind that polished image was something darker, a global network built on exploitation, manipulation, and silence. For years, rumors followed him. Then victims started speaking. Then the arrests came. And before the full truth could be tested in court, Epstein was dead. So where does Kenya come in? According to the newly released files, Kenya shows up in conversations connected to travel and hospitality. Luxury hotels, high-end trips, plans that suggest Africa wasn't just a tourist destination, it was part of a broader network of movement. Some documents reference Kenyan politicians and influential figures, not as defendants, not as accused criminals, but as names in contact lists, emails, and social circles. And then there are the phrases that made people stop reading and start rereading. References to girls. Without context. Without explanation. And that's where discomfort sets in. Now, and this part matters. Being mentioned in these files does not automatically mean guilt. These documents are messy, incomplete, sometimes just fragments of conversations. A name appearing doesn't equal a crime, but it does raise questions. Why Kenya? Why these hotels? Why these connections? In Kenya, the reaction was immediate. Not because anyone had been charged, but because the country understands something very well. How power protects itself. How silence is bought. How exploitation often hides behind luxury and influence. For activists and journalists, the files felt like confirmation of something long suspected, that global abuse networks don't respect borders. They go where the money goes. Where scrutiny is low. Where powerful people feel comfortable. The Epstein files aren't a final answer. They're a mirror. They show how one man could move through the world, from New York to Europe to Africa, without serious resistance for years. They show how systems fail victims. How influence bends rules. How many people knew something, but not enough spoke. And Kenya's appearance in this story isn't about shame. It's about awareness. Because exploitation doesn't announce itself. It blends in. It checks into 5-star hotels. It wears suits. It smiles for photos. The files are public now. Which means the silence is broken, even if the full truth is still incomplete. What happens next depends on journalists asking better questions, on institutions refusing to look away, and on people remembering that stories like this aren't just about famous names. They're about the victims whose lives were changed forever. And maybe the most unsettling part of this story isn't that Kenya appears in the Epstein files. It's how easily it could have stayed hidden.